Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Unholy Horde playthrough on the channel. And in the last episode, Canute boldly sacrificed himself for the cause of the Venetian people who were trying to escape their Yorkish overlords who were a bit oppressive towards them. So I think that Canute in the end lived up to his name, Canute the Great. And now we have Harold here as our new ruler. And funny enough, apparently Canute was actually his enemy at this point, and so he hopes Canute is in hell. So that's interesting. That is definitely an interesting way to start off our new ruler. He's 30 years old, he's a solid manager, but we need a new commander because we don't want him going into battle. And I guess we have the trader right now, which is actually perfect because that brings me to my next point, which is Galind Galindus here. He is a decent enough commander. He's not perfect, but he should be able to take mostly that spot that Canute had previously had. So we're going to need to take up all of these rings. I would like to buy more shields, but we can't right now. And another thing to keep in mind is Harold is actually Tanea due to a conversion that happened when he was a child. So he should hopefully have an easier time building relationship with the matriarch and hopefully with our priest as well. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And we're going to go ahead and sell a little more tools. We're going to sell some medical cells. We'll sell another sword, maybe two more swords. And we'll sell some of these flavorful ales. And we will also buy more paper. And other than that, it may be time to start selling off some of these maces. We don't really need too many. We only really need maybe 8. And otherwise, I think we're going to try to keep everything else here. Maybe we could sell a couple of axes for the moment. No, actually, because any time we are against armored foes, we really want to have the extra axes. We're doing great on coal. May need to increase the amount that we are actually producing. We're going to sell off these prisoners now. Their mood is terrible. I don't want them to try to escape. Um, Probably nothing else here at the moment. Master of the Dagger, that's hilarious. We will not be using that. Otherwise, let's say, we do need the rye. Let's go ahead and pick all that up. And I think that is about all that we can really do here for the moment. I need to check on these books. I think we can get rid of Armor Forge and Weapon Forge now. We need somebody else who will do the fresh start since Canute didn't end up finishing that. And additionally, we have some knowledge at risk, including the coal furnace, which is okay. Training ground, I would prefer not to lose, but it shouldn't break down, so that should be fine. But we will also lose the smelting furnace upgrade. I'm not actually sure if the upgrade books, if when you lose those knowledges, if it completely prevents that building from functioning, if it has that upgrade, or if it's just like the other ones, and it only prevents you from repairing it. We'll have to see, but otherwise, let's say, we need to find which of these books we can actually get rid of. Can we get rid of the Weapon Forge? Yes. Can we get rid of the Armor Forge? Where's the Armor Forge? I'd prefer not to. And then all of our purple books I think we need. There we go. And that gets us a little bit more money back. So we still have quite a bit of money, but we have spent a decent amount as well. So that's something that we need to keep in mind. Now we need to look at our production here. And we need to be making even more axes and even more swords for sure. We'll go 20 each. And medical cells, that's fine. We don't have enough rye to be producing beer yet. Or beer again. We'll put the tools up to 50. We can start to sell those a little bit. And light armor up to 50. And coal probably up to... We're going to go way, way up because we really don't want the coal to ever stop being produced. We'll set this to around 1,000. And steel, let's say steel. Probably 150 for right now. And that should set us up pretty good. I forgot, I think steel is 1 iron and 1 tool. Or shields, yes. 1 iron, 1 tool. Okay. So we have plenty of iron. We do need more tools. I'm just gonna set this up to 150 as well. And everything else here should be fine. So now we're gonna go ahead and potentially hire this guy. Hire him for... I haven't done hiring in so long I forgot even where the tooltip was. Now, the easiest way to hire him will be with Emma, so we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so now looking at our warriors, and we don't have any loyalists that looks like that we can hire. Wait, was there? No, okay, so can't do that. However, we do have some mercenaries here. We have quite several, and I think we're going to hire these 3 for sure. And how are our numbers looking? 38 Keaton as far as peasants go, so that's good. But our warriors are Caden and Tanea, which is actually fine. Since our ruler is Tanea, it should be okay if we have a split between Tanea and Caden, I would think. I would think that's fine. They're not xenophobic towards each other, so it should be alright. And this gets us... Is this actually 13? No. It should be 16, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 then. Okay. Now we need to decide what we're going to do with Norwich, and we have a relationship with them again. I'm worried about starting this trade route and then immediately having it get canceled because we try to take them over, but it may just be something we have to take care of and deal with because, yeah, I mean, 48, basically getting 48 per day for only a little over 1 each, that's just too lucrative. And then look at this, somebody is buying swords. Look at that, that is incredible. I wish we could actually see for how much. Protection against rebellion. Do we want to... Okay, we could actually do that. Okay, we don't even have to send much. We could just send... Well, the first thing is we need to make sure... Well, what is up with... Okay, there we go. Let's see. We need to be able to give him a title. They need another 20 relation. Okay, so we'll send them to hunt. And then from there, we will try to send Galindos over to Canterbury to protect them against that rebellion. Hopefully that will increase our relationship with them. Let's see. If Pelennor wins, relations with him would be plus 30. Okay, that pretty much gets us back to good standing. And then we can try to sell them these swords. I don't really care about the spears or the heavy armor, but this sword trade route could be very lucrative for us. Okay, now we have Brave Canute's grave here, and you know where to put him? I think over here by the training ground. He loved his warriors. He took very good care of them, and I think they would want to be able to pay respects to him every single day. So that's where he's gonna go. Lana is almost done with the Caden training. We're gonna go ahead and study that. I guess that bug is still there where they stop at 99% sometimes. And next we will go ahead and put her onto Fresh Start. That's going to be very important to be able to bring bandits into the armory. And now, result of Norwich. Starting that trade route. Perfect. Alright, 48 more rye per day. I think we can go ahead and start our production of beer again. We'll just set it to 100 for now. Okay, so now since Harold is going to be probably a little bit busy for the time being, we're going to actually move some things over to Lana. We're probably going to move... she's already doing that. Okay. Harold is taking care of this lumber mill, though. We'll have Lana take care of that. Lana on this as well. And, what else? Probably these 3 things as well. And then... I think everything down here should be... Okay, there's a couple, but these are all snoozed buildings. We'll still move those over as well. And that should be a little bit better so that Harold can deal with Galindos here without everything running out of instructions. Okay, so now Harold and Galindos's relationship is finally high enough to grant him a title, but we're going to let Harold finish conducting his little inspection here before we do that. Now, on another note, we do have a few more loyalists that we're going to hire, so we'll hire those, and I think it's just those 2 for the moment. Yes. Okay. Stuff. And then, Otherwise, there are no other... I mean, we could hire this guy. He'd be very, very expensive. 33, minus the 30%. What is that, like 10? So it should be only 23 for him, I think. Just to have one very strong mercenary right now. So we don't really have very, very strong warriors now. Most of them all died in that previous campaign. So should we do it? I don't know. I think we are at that point, yeah, where we really just need the strongest warriors possible, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And now we're going to go ahead and grant Galindos a title here, so that he can join our actual family. Okay, and Galindos is now a part of the family and everything. Now this would be kind of funny. Okay, we could actually have them get married, possibly. We're going to go ahead and sell another sword, and we will keep everything else except for these medical salves we'll sell. Look at that, 22 a piece. Alright, and we'll sell a few more medical, flavorful ales, rather. We'll keep 10 of them. And then buy our rye. Buy more paper. We're good on wood for the time being, so I'm not going to keep buying it. But, otherwise, I think that's pretty good. Do I want more rings? Probably, yes. We are running out of money, though, already, and that kind of worries me. Yeah. Okay, fast construction. Yeah, nothing else here is very interesting for me. Is that everything? We got the paper. Yes, okay. I guess we can sell a few more tools. There we go. Gets us a little bit of our money back. Okay, so now since we have Galindos, we're going to go ahead and send him to this protection against rebellion. And we will send Galindos as well as... Let's see, how many people are in this rebellion, actually? Is there any way to know support amongst the warriors is 50%, so probably 11. Okay. So we need to send... Well, we don't really need to send that much, really. We can just send our best. Just like that. Yeah, that should be good. And we will send them all with armor. Mostly with shields. And they're probably going to have armor, so we will send mostly, or entirely, axes. That should be fine. And that will improve our relationship quite a bit with them, hopefully. Now, Lana desires a reward. We're going to go ahead and do that. And I think Emma wants one. Yes, Emma wants one as well. Her loyalty is good. I may just not do this because her mood is bad, but it's not really bad enough for me to worry too much about it. I guess she is 1% away from being done with heavy armor as well. Let's go ahead and have her finish that then. Alright, and knowledge. Should we have her do shields next? Or is there anything else? Caden training she already has. Heavy armor she has. Armor forge she has. I guess we can get rid of the armor forge now. Yeah, okay. So we'll just have her on shield then. And Galindos. Galindos, we'll just have him learn anything, really. Maybe heavy armor. Yeah, have somebody else that knows heavy armor would be good. And the trader's about to leave, so we'll just sell that armor forge next time. Okay, so now there is actually this bandit camp over here near Canterbury. I don't think there are any other ones. It's got 6, but I think we should be able to deal with that fine, so we're actually going to attack that before we go. And actually, okay, I guess we can't even go to Canterbury now. It already got resolved. It looks like a few soldiers died in the process, but otherwise nothing too crazy happening there. Apparently Declan is of marriage age. So I was thinking about having Galindos marry Emma, but what if we had Emma go and marry... Well, that would only be 900 gold, and we'd lose one of our smartest people, and we would lose knowledge as well. Would it even let us anyways? It would. Yeah, plus 25 to our relation. But yeah, York is super, super weak right now, so I don't really want to have a strong relation with them, actually. Wait, why is there only... Was 6 all I sent? I guess it was. Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on in here. And hopefully this doesn't go wrong. Oh, Galindos is fast. He is a speedy guy. He just wants to get this over with. This should be no problem for them. Good work, and Galindos got the Courageous Spirit nickname. That was quite good, and we captured every single one of those. Perfect. Okay, nice little bit of money then. Now, Lot of Lod is actually getting back home, so I guess they still had a force out in the world. Okay, so since that rebellion fell through, we now need to look at giving them gifts and things like that, and it just so happens they want medical salves, which we have plenty of, so we're going to go ahead and have Emma go and gift them right now. Now back to our production menu, and we do have the heavy armor, so we do want to start thinking about making these, and it's just kind of unfortunate because we do need the coal to create the steel, and the steel is being used on swords and axes, and we also want it to be used on heavy armor. At least we do have enough tools, though, but we will probably need to completely take off light armor for the time being. And what we want to do is we want to have enough heavy armors. We probably aren't going to sell them. I think I was thinking about it, but I don't think it's going to be a great idea. Selling this resource, buying it for 88. Yeah, I think in time I would like to sell them, but for right now, I don't think so. I think selling the swords is probably better. We're usually getting about 72 out of those. We'd probably get about 100 out of the heavy armor. And instead of a coal, we're using a tool on them, which is an extra iron. So okay, maybe the heavy armor is worth it to sell, but long term. Okay, we're gonna make 20 of them, and we'll go ahead and bring the sword amount and axe mount back up to 20. And otherwise, everything else looks pretty good to me. And looking back at our army screen, we've got another loyalist, probably just the one. We do have more Caden mercenaries we could hire, but I think we're just gonna do just this one. And we're going to try to only pay for the weakest ones so that we can just train them up ourselves again. But because we are kind of low on money again, like I said, I want to try to keep around 2,000 or so gold, and that's going to already be kind of difficult. Okay, so just like that, I gifted Pelennor a second time, and now we finally are back to neutral with them. And we are just going to look at this trade, so 5 of them for 650, which is 130 per item. So it's under double, but it is quite a bit more than what we were originally getting from the trader. Now, the issue here, of course, is that we are also paying intermediary services and the paper costs. So we were paying, what, 31 each, so that's 155. That's an extra 355 for this trade route. For 15 days. I actually need to do some math really quick to make sure that this is even going to be viable. Okay, so for my math, it seems that we would still be getting about 125 per sword, which is still about 50 more than we were getting before. So I think this is still worth it. It's just the only issue is I did it based on if we actually sell exactly 5 every single day for all 15 days of the trade contract. And I'm not actually sure we'll be able to make that quota because we don't have a ton of swords right now, but we are just going to start it. We'll start it right now. And this at least gets us a good export finally. Okay, since we are now selling swords, I'm actually going to bring the amount up at least to 25, and I think we'll just make 10 axes at a time so that we can focus a little bit more on these swords until we have a good amount that we can trade them and still have some on hand as well. Okay, now since we do have a little bit of extra resources right now, and we are getting close to filling all of our open jobs right now, or we'll filling all of our open jobs with workers, we're going to go ahead and start upgrading a little bit of stuff in the city. I don't want to spend too much wood, though, so I'm going to try to avoid that. We'll upgrade... Oh, we can't? Okay, we can upgrade the coal furnace again. can't upgrade the weapon forge. We could upgrade the smelting furnace, but that's a little bit too much of a wood cost. And otherwise, I think that is probably everything for the moment. Okay, and here we are at the trader. We're not going to sell very many of our medical cells because we need to keep them on hand. And we're gonna sell just a few flavorful ales. We want to try to keep at least 8. And we can go ahead and sell a couple bows since we haven't really been using those, as well as some spears. And we will also sell... No, we'd need to keep all of our tools from now on. And we'll buy a few holy rings as well, and some more rye. We're going to try not to buy much more rye, though, from the trader, because it is getting a little bit costly. Oh, this book would be quite nice. Wood economical construction reduces the consumption of wood when constructing and upgrading by 30%. But we don't have a ton of things that we're upgrading, so maybe not the best use of money right now. Now we can get rid of that armor forge book, and can we get rid of Caden training yet? I think we could, right? Yes, it's known by Lana, so that would be fine. And axe proficiency is also learned. Won't let me click on it. Okay, axe proficiency is also now known by Harold and Emma, so we can actually get rid of that one as well. So axe proficiency and Caden training can go. That's another 500 gold back, which is pretty good. And let's see, what do we don't really have any new knowledge anymore, and we're probably not really going to get any new knowledge at this point. So we could have people write books. It just wouldn't be very useful, really. I can't write that one. Could write this one, though. So we could have him write this. It won't get us a whole lot, but it will be something. And we don't really need the paper at the moment for a trade route. Yeah, I think this is okay. It'll be 9 paper. And it might make us a little bit of money. Okay, and one last look at the army screen, and there are a few Cadens that we can hire. I don't want to spend too much money, but we are at 3,200, so I think we can go ahead and pay for a couple of these stronger guys here. We'll pay for both of these. I almost want to get that level 13 guy, but I think that's probably spending just a little bit too much, so we'll go with this. We're back up to 20 soldiers now. Norwich is less powerful than us. However, we don't have as strong of an average combat skill. York has not really rebounded just yet. Now, actually, Lincoln and Canterbury are pretty strong. London is very strong. So I'm wondering if London will eventually try to secede from York, potentially. That would definitely help us. Otherwise, we're going to have to attack Norwich and probably end up attacking London. Well, having London defend Norwich, which will make things certainly a lot more difficult. But this game is certainly starting to shape up to be a longer one. I'm not really sure how much longer we're going to have to deal with this York Kingdom. It's taking quite a while. But there's another kingdom here, as you can see. And I don't know if this is getting burnt by the Unholy Horde continuously, or if it looks like those skulls probably means that it is the Unholy Horde. But if so, is this the Unholy Horde kingdom then? I really do not know. And then there's another kingdom here, of course, which apparently has fallen apart just a little bit. And then these guys are starting to create a kingdom as well. I think this is Venice, and this was I don't actually remember. This is like Constantinople and stuff though. So that's pretty interesting. Pretty much 4 pretty big kingdoms in this in the world. So otherwise, that is going to be it for this episode, and as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.